ever seen Dinner with Schmucks? Where he passes the napkin.
Something to do that.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a live edition of Nerd Wars. I'm so happy to be here because today we're talking about this crazy new re-release of Avengers Endgame. Who here is surprised that they're trying to make more money to beat Avatar at the box office? I'm sure not. But I brought in 4 amazing fighters, and we're going to talk this out. Is this re-release of Avengers Endgame worthy or worthless? It's easy to go, is this a cash grab? Obviously, it's Disney. It's cash grab. They want to get as much money as they can. This movie cost a fortune. They got to give Robert Downey Jr. and every actor like $1 million in the profits. But is this worthy? They're saying there's going to be end credit scenes. There's rumors of a Stan Lee tribute. Maybe more looking into the next futures of the next Phase 4. Is it Phase 4? No,
Phase 4, yeah.
It'll be Phase 4. Duh. I'm already losing track. Anyway, we're going to get all to it, and I'm happy to be here with, look who's here with me, our whole crew. We got 2 new fighters here. I'm so happy to have them. And 2 iconic fighters. Andrew, your first time back in the studio. Let's start over here. And I'm not going to start with you. I'm going to start with Don. Don, you're no longer undefeated, though.
No, I have lost that title, but I'm happy to regain it.
Maybe you will. Right next to you, Katie's joining you, the team. Hey, Katie, welcome back.
Hey.
You were on our Captain Marvel review. Thanks for doing that. Mm-hmm. You dressed up as Captain Marvel. You were a cosplayer, yeah? You have a lot of awesome outfits and stuff. But where do people find you? Give yourself a plug.
The main thing is Katie Bear Cosplay on Instagram. That's where you can find me, mostly like active on. Cool.
She does awesome stuff. Thank you for coming. You're a Marvel fan. You both are Marvel fans, and you are going to pick which side of this debate. Avengers Endgame re-release, worthy or worthless?
Worthless.
Wow. Okay. Good. Good for you. Ballsy. There's going to be a lot of Avengers fans who are not going to like you. Over on the other side, happy to slide on. Sorry, I should have framed this better.
Oh,
can I adjust it still? I think I can now.
We're getting all cozy.
It's almost his birthday, so.
Yeah, it's almost my birthday, kids.
We got Andrew back on the show. You were back in season 2. You've been here, but you haven't been in the new studio. What do you think?
No, I love the new studio. Thanks for having me. And it's my birthday, so...
Woo! Drinks to that!
Hopefully,
Not
plus
there
1
yet.
point.
He's going to be drunk. He knows.
I'm drinking water. Maybe.
And I got a nice sippy cup that is not juice.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated, kids. It's good to be back, though. Thank you.
And next to you and joining your team, you guys are going to go worthwhile. You think this is worthy. Matt Doolittle. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you. Yeah.
Matt hit me up. Good on you. You're a Tampa personality. You've done a lot of press out here, and so welcome to Nerd Wars.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
So you guys, again, you stand on the fact that this is a worthy thing. This is not it's just a cash grab. You think this is a worthy thing to do.
It's Marvel. It's worth it. I mean, anything they put out, anything that they put the Bob Iger seal of approval on anymore, I'll go with.
Yeah. As Cap said, it's Marvel, so you know it's going to be good, but the question is how good. And we all know that, spoiler alert, we've all seen the movie, and yeah, it was good. It was good, to say the least. Was it? Yeah, I think it had sports ball, but maybe it was a grand slam, home run, goal, basket, three-pointer, whatever superlative.
Whatever
it was one of those
analogy
things.
My range was it kept my attention for 3+ hours, and nothing keeps my attention for more than 2 minutes usually. So the fact that it did that multiple times tells me it's worth it.
Yeah. All right. Well, the commenters are already chiming in, so thank you for joining us in the chat here. Thank you, Brianna came from Twitter. Woohoo! Reading Wikipedia's back. Safi and Marco. Who burped? That was Andrew. They did hear you. See.
Ooh, my bad.
Chris, welcome. Chris is saying it's already worthless. Jen She Fox. John is saying it's a cash grab. They love our cups. Woo! And worth it, but this is just an excuse. I'll give it to my mom to rewatch the movie. So a lot of interesting reasons why this could be a worthy reason to do it. Let's get straight into it. I have some other questions on the point. This isn't going to just be about that. We're going to obviously get there. And we're going to play a fun game at the end, so stay tuned. But I want to get straight to this. You already alluded to why it's worthy. I want to start to the worthless people. Why are we saying
You were worthless.
Good name. Good name.
the worthless team?
Great segue.
This is obviously the biggest movie in a while. Have we seen enough? Where are you coming on with tonight? I'll chime in throughout the fight too. But where are we coming from? Why are you calling it worthless?
You want to start or shall I?
You shall.
I shall. Okay.
Yes.
It's okay. Number one is not like it's making a comeback after being out of theaters for so long. It was like out of theaters for like less than a month. It's not even like barely a whisper of it being out of theaters. Secondly, it's 2 additional scenes and like end credit scenes. Like nothing really too much different. Maybe the Stan Lee tribute smothered in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. It's not like okay, we want to do a Marvel comparison. Let's talk about the Deadpool Christmas movie where they were comparing it to
Once Upon a Deadpool.
Once Upon a Deadpool
With Fred Savage.
Now, that movie, many people I've talked to would say that's the same movie. The only difference is they did a lot of re-editing to make it more so that it's PG-13, kid-friendly. But that's still editing a lot of things out to make that happen. And then on top of which, they're adding additional multiple scenes to, fill in those gaps, make it more pleasant for everybody else.
Well, let's correct you. That's because maybe Don hasn't done his homework. They're not doing that, apparently. They're only adding end credit scenes.
Well, no, that's what I'm talking about.
But you're saying they're not adding scenes throughout the film like
Don,
in
get to the
Deadpool 2.
point, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm confused.
So what's the big difference other than something that you're going to be able to catch on YouTube in probably another 2 months?
It's something new for you to see in the same experience, or maybe you didn't see it in the big IMAX experience that time, so now you can go see it in the big IMAX experience. I mean, how many different versions of Star Wars did we all buy in VHS when they added one little extra Jawa? And you're like, I got to watch this whole thing to just see this one little Jawa. We've already done this process, and we're all going to do it again.
But you're talking about something that you can see for that's a series that's been around for decades. And then when you add that one little extra thing, that's becomes a collector's item. And that's this item that you want to catch up on.
This ticket could be a collector's item for this. I mean, all these Marvel movies. I've got my ticket from Infinity War and Endgame.
Wow.
I've never seen anybody get a return value on
Not return value, but sentimental value.
Wait, you have a paper ticket?
Means something to them, Adon.
Okay, but real quick. First of all, their Avengers is showing in 45 minutes down the road if we want to go see it. Number one. Number two, going on what he was saying, if you didn't see it in IMAX or you didn't see it in 3D, I don't know why would you, but the point is there. You can still do it. For myself, for example, my wife and I haven't seen it together, so we're gonna do it. Now that this news came out, we just have to wait a little bit. But I think that if the nerds come out, think back to the first night you watched it. I'm assuming you saw it opening night, opening weekend. Oh, yes. Remember when the Wakandans came out and everyone was cheering? Or when Spider-Man came, everyone was losing their fucking minds. For example, I saw it twice opening night, and the second time, I'm sitting there with my cuddly blanket, drinking, whatever, and then these two guys sitting next to me, they're both at certain parts through the movie. They're on the edge of their seat, literally, and they're enjoying the movie and so on. And you get that group atmosphere. I think that if the nerds come out, we can have that experience again. Because a few weeks ago, I brought my nephew for school or whatever. I took him out of school, whatever. He did good, and I took him to see Avengers. There was like 6 people in the theater, and it wasn't that as fun, right? But if we can get the nerds back out again, we can experience that opening night feeling, you know what I mean? And this is the last, this is going to be the last time it's in theaters. Don't get me wrong, I have a nice TV at home. I'm sure you do too, but there's nothing like it on a big screen. Like my dad's like, oh, I watched it, a Chinese stream on my TV at home. And I'm like, Dad, but IMAX, baby. Not the same.
I want to chime in on that. I want to hear from Katie, but because I want to echo what the commenters say. Bunda is saying, I'm going to watch the extra scene on bootleg. Good point, guy with the fro. That's Adon. Good job. Yes. But I got to disagree because I think Andrew just made a very good point. I want you guys to respond to this, and then obviously say we're going to say Katie, but there is sort of like this going to church feeling with this movie when you see it with a packed crowd. And granted, the audiences have dwindled down as the time goes, but now it's been taken away. It's coming back. There is sort of an appeal of like, hey, everybody, your last shot to watch this together as sort of a team. Because when I saw it opening night with the packed crowd, it was such a better movie because everyone's just losing their mind. When Cap lifts up the spoilers, sorry. But when Cap lifts up the hammer, and oh my God, when Falcon says to your left, and I get the
my
goosebumps
God.
again, and I mean, it is kind of one of those theater experiences where you're just like, shit, I do want to see this one more time in the theater before it's gone.
Yeah,
How do you guys respond to that sort of that point?
Okay, like, I get it, the theater experience part, but at the same time, there's the two groups of people who want that whole group experience, and then others who rather just see it in their own home. They want to be able to completely submerge themselves and not have to worry about hearing some little kid talking in the movie, or some little baby crying, or people going, oh my God, no way! Like, personally, I mean, I love both. I would rather, but to see it come out again, I'd rather just watch it at home, because that way I can enjoy it myself, not have people talking behind me or whispering, oh my gosh, you think they're going to do this? Or, oh my gosh, this part's coming up, remember. I mean, we're all going to see it in a couple of weeks. If we waited a couple more weeks, we're going to see it on digital or on DVD. All the, coming soon, Avengers Endgame on DVD and Blu-ray. Get all the bloopers and extra credit scenes and the deleted scenes and blah, blah, blah. We're going to see it anyways. So, like, you don't need to go back to the theater.
It's an emotional in-person feeling. There's a reason you go to a concert and you're there. You spend $100 to go see the Stones. So you're like, oh, I want to feel this, rather than just watching their concert at home on your couch. Like, there's very few movies that I will actually go to the theater for. I'll wait till some of them come out if they don't need that IMAX experience. And I get it. Like, you go to a movie now, if somebody's going to be on their phone. The guy that, when I saw this the first time, was on his phone, and I turned to him, I go, can you not do that tonight? Thanks. So I get that idea. But with this movie, it just had such an emotional kick to it. And I trace it all the way back to, like, when people used to go in droves to see Titanic. Granted, it's 25, 30 years later since then. But it was that emotional feel of the energy and the power in that room, especially if you see it in a great theater. Like, if you go to one of the big IMAX ones, there's, like, you get the rumble, the under your seat, the feeling. Like, I think this movie had every element in it.
Exactly, and the crowd is so important, as you alluded to with the concerts. And I think that just like with a comedy or anything, it just adds that little extra hot sauce to it all.
So, and I get that. You're all talking about, like, your personal feel on this, and then you want to feel it with the environment. There's no guarantee, though, that the day that you go to that theater, unless you petition on Facebook and all those other
if
areas,
I bring my sippy cup, everything's going to work out fine.
for you and your sippy cup.
Sippy cup,
He's
baby.
getting points from me. Go ahead, Don. Sorry.
But, like, there's no guarantee that you will be in that crowd. You will be surrounded with the audience. And we're not talking about it's for a special day or special event, or, like, they're celebrating, like, Iron Man coming out on this day, so they're gonna do, like, Avengers to close out that chapter as an anniversary celebration, in tribute or anything like that, or play, like, Infinity War back to back with Endgame, so you can get a whole 6-hour experience of, like, I need to hold my bladder.
Yeah, there you go.
You're not getting that. You're getting the same movie, plus maybe a few extra minutes of something that you would have gotten anyways.
Well, it's interesting, and I think Katie made a good point of it. Is not every theater experience can be like the one I had in my first one. And to be honest, my second experience, they were pretty quiet. And Shelly is telling her story. I live in the burbs. Even in a packed theater, nobody cheered very much, just me, which is so sad. Sorry, Shelly. I wish we could have been there to watch with you and cheer at the right points.
Come watch it with sippy cup.
I cried all 3 times.
There were theaters that were losing it, and it was sort of those really first packed nights. So I feel like if there's ever going to be a crowd again that is going to react right, it's hopefully going to be this. Everyone go Friday night again to see it one more time. But you're right in that it's probably not going to be there. That it might be annoying. And I want to ask this question because I feel like we're starting to get a little. I get our points, and it is sort of now a decision of do you need the theater experience again or not? We're going to add more points, but I'm just curious. Has the movie settled in with everybody as strongly as it did the first time? Does anyone have a little bit of buyer's remorse on the movie as itself? As I've sat with it, I loved it. It was an amazing experience. I still give it a high positive review, but I don't know. As I sit with it, I do have problems with the movie, and I wonder, is it as good as Infinity War? Like, I'm just curious. On the panel here, where do we stand with Endgame? Is it still the amazing moment, or does anyone have sort of feelings against it?
I got the payoff that I wanted, and I attribute that to, like, for me, a lot of shows don't end well, and, like, Breaking Bad gave me everything I needed at the end. I got everything settled. I'm good. That's how I felt with this. I got everything settled. Granted, my favorite character But it gave me the emotional hit I wanted. It cleaned up a lot of stuff. They hit every point that I wanted, and I was perfectly happy with it. I didn't feel like it was long. I didn't feel like this story lost this bit, that bit. I don't know a lot of the comic backgrounds of it. A lot of it comes from my just knowing the movie stuff and that kind of that storyline. So I was completely satisfied with it walking out of there.
And how many times did you see it?
I saw it 3 times.
Okay, Andrew, how many times did you see it?
Either 8 or 9. I remember I snapped a couple people round 8. It was either round 8 or round. I
So
had
you
to get
spent
back
21 hours.
You had nothing going on for those 2 weeks.
I gotta text my friend Ben and ask him because I sent him all the snaps like all jokingly. But no, to echo his point, the emotional beats hit, and you have to understand the concept of wrapping up 10 years of a television series is essentially what the MCU is. So to do that, but to do it so well, I mean, critically acclaimed as well, is a tough ask. So you got to give them a lot of credit, the team with Kevin Feige and the writers. But the only criticisms I would have would probably be Hulk, like not getting like he didn't get a lot of.
He didn't get a lot of push,
a lot of flavor.
This was overall, I think, a celebration of honestly Robert Downey Jr. And I think that they knew he's done with this. He was gonna, his contract was up. He wanted to walk off into the sunset, and he wants to do other projects. And they're like, "Look, we've got him for these couple movies left before he says I don't want to do this anymore. Even though you're gonna back a Brinks truck up of money to my house every time I do one of these. He doesn't need it anymore." Sure. So, I mean, he's paid off all his debts to society. He's good. Yeah. So, I think that they were like, we need to make sure we get him, Chris Hemsworth, and Chris Evans, those guys, involved in this last one before they all start going, I'm out.
Yeah, but the performances across the board were incredible. I mean, just think of Josh Brolin as a villain. He established himself in Infinity War, but also...
Was he better in this, though?
No, I don't think he was better, but, like... The fact that he had less to do and his performance was still
my frustration is
comparable.
I don't feel like he was the same Thanos in this movie. Like there's things like that. There's things that of the MCU that don't hold up the same. And I will break it down in a later point. I think it's a different video. It's another conversation. Yeah. But I think as I've settled with the film, there's huge timeline issues. There's a lot of you have to put the reality out the door.
But
obviously,
it's a time machine movie.
Disney Plus
it is what it is, and I let that go. But I don't know. There's decisions characters make, and I'm like, really? There's things I wonder if it holds up. I'm just curious if I'm the only one who's sort of having a little bit of second thoughts on the worthless side. Where do you guys stand still? Do you still love it the same?
I still enjoy the movie a lot. I mean, you're right. It is a point of contention. I still, to this day, argue with my brother about a lot of the things that happened within that movie, especially about the timeline.
How's that Thanksgiving going to be later this year?
It's going to be interesting.
You're wrong.
You need a Doc Brown skew line for
we
that.
start arguing about like the multiverse and the concepts and which is right and which is wrong, but that's going to happen with any timeline movie like that you're talking about with time travel. It messes with everybody's head. There's not a single one that ever explains it properly or, understandably. But, and you're right, there are holes in the movie. I still enjoy the movie a great deal. But the fact is, I will probably enjoy it more at home with, and especially if I'm going to watch it with my family. They enjoy it that way.
Yeah, I think
Katie?
I agree because, I definitely got my money's worth watching the movie. Like, when I saw it a few times, saw it like 2 or 3 times, definitely got my money's worth. But, just after you let it sink in and start thinking about it, there were pieces missing or things I thought they could have done better. I would say that I did cry more during Infinity War than I did for Endgame. So I felt I don't know if I'd say Infinity War was better, but I kind of see them more equally. But I guess I would kind of lean more towards Infinity War because I felt like there was more hype to it. Because looking towards Endgame, you kind of know what's going to happen. You know that, you're ready for disappointment and crying. So I guess that's probably another reason.
Well, I'll give you this. Infinity War had a lot more energy.
Yeah.
Just because there was way more battle scenes and all this. But now you knew you were coming into this melancholy type of environment and universe where half of them are
it also
gone.
turns into sort of this fun, weird, funny, fat Thor stuff.
Yeah.
It had a lot of running gags.
Yeah,
the cringy... Professor. No.
Okay, but Fat Thor was the best secret they kept.
No, nothing. the cringy Professor Hulk. I loved him, but he was cringy, but also he was great. Like, I don't know how to explain
the
it.
best CG.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I'm still torn on Professor Hulk. Like,
He's so nerfed.
My point is, there's
though.
still a lot to dissect about this movie. It sounds like we are. It's not the perfect film, but I think you all set it up well too. And it ended so well. Like it did that finale. I don't know. I have fans who didn't, but I just seeing them all, hearing Cap finally say "Avengers Assemble," and they're all coming through the portals. I mean, it was just the kid in me was just like. It was like the airport scene, jazzed up to even more. I think the airport scene's better, to be honest. It's a better choreographed scene, but it's more of an emotional, like, yes, finally, they're all there. Did it end well? Go ahead. Did it end well the same for you? Do you feel that same way?
Yeah, I mean, like, the end, when they're all coming together, I was just thinking about some of the Avengers cartoons I've watched and some of the comics when it had the same thing when they're all, like bursting out. I forgot the name of the cartoon, but
Avengers Assemble?
I think so. I was watching,
It might have been that one.
I was just watching clips on YouTube, and then I see all of them, Fantastic Four, like everybody there. They're all standing in the field, and Thanos is just kind of like, oh shoot, like he's just standing there, and I just kind of was thinking of that. And back to the comics when they're all coming together. I'm like, yes, my babies. And then Spider-Man came, and I was like, okay, it's all good.
You're thinking. Oh no.
What?
That's an older series. I'm thinking you're thinking of Spider-Man, the animated series, when they had the Secret Wars. Because that's crossed over X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man. It was like one of the biggest crossovers that they had for a cartoon series before they had Justice League.
It was like
But we're
nerdy
nerdy out right now.
Off topic.
I will
off
get
topic.
to you on that.
I do think it ends. I mean, the comment. I'm going to get some of these commenters in too. But Shelley says the time travel was a bit confusing, but I was okay with that. I think that's where a lot of people felt like you're either in or you're not.
Guys, take a science class. You'll be fine.
No, it doesn't make any sense. But they wisely sort of tried to admit that.
I taught a film class to high schoolers once. And we watched Back to the Future. I showed them behind the scenes and all this. Can you imagine trying to talk to a bunch of 10th graders about the timeline from Back to the Future and how this went there? Their heads were like exploding. And I'm like, no, it works. Trust me. And they're like, no, but there was this problem here with that. Just go with it.
Well, the biggest problem is just like Cap couldn't have gone back and fixed it all. But now we're establishing different threads.
That's the
different
Cap
lines.
line is the one that bothered me.
And so
Guys,
it is
take
what it
things,
is. But I was just
literary
saying,
symbolism
I don't-
and so on. Like, come on.
I didn't really actually care because I was
Go
so
to English
entertained.
class.
I was so entertained that it was there. But so all right, so the film is over there. Getting back to wrap up this fight with your final thoughts. I think we all agree it is a cash grab. Disney wants to beat Avatar. Should it beat Avatar is what I'm just trying to get at.
Yes.
Yes.
Here's
Yeah,
my
very much yes.
But here's my
100%.
counterpoint
I'll
to
stop
that.
drinking, yes.
Why would Disney that now owns Fox, which produced Avatar, and they've got it in a theme park, and they now own the rights to Titanic because again they bought Fox. Why would they monetarily try to beat one of their own movies?
Oh, I'll tell you why. I actually know, and this isn't my idea. Someone on Twitter said it. It's because they're going to re-release Avatar before Avatar 2, and then Avatar will potentially... Because it's going to be tight. It's going to be freaking
But
tight.
Avatar doesn't give
And
me
if
the
Avatar
tingles,
comes out
you
with a
know?
special
Isn't that
thing
good?
with exclusive footage of Avatar 2
Oh, yeah,
to get
of
people
course.
stoked,
Marketing,
suddenly
baby.
Avatar's their big property is going to get a little bit. So I don't think this fight is over, and I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for Avengers to win. Because Avatar had to get
33.
They got 33 million in their
33.
release, and they've been out for and they didn't have any competition. This is still a summer. They're up against Spider-Man and things that are coming out in the next weeks. Like,
But to be-
get 45 million in this day and age at the box office is going to be hard. It's
Right.
It's not a slam dunk.
Okay, but let's move the conversation if we can real quick. So Men in Black's out, Dark Phoenix is out, Godzilla is out. All these summer movies that I was really looking forward to see. I've only seen two out of the three. They're very disappointing. So I think that this is the perfect time to do this re-release, this so-called re-release, because Men in Black is terrible, Dark Phoenix is terrible, right? So I think that people can do it, and as long as the nerds come out to support it, then that's fine. But so I think that if Avatar, or I'm sorry, if the Avengers cannot pass Avatar, I think it'll be within $6, $7, $8 million, like the spread. I don't know gambling, but something like this.
What do you guys think? Should it beat Avatar? Will it beat Avatar?
I thought it should have beat Avatar when it was out already.
Yeah, should have.
It should have made it there, and
It's just a different climate now. It's
It's
hard
totally
for movies to
different.
have those legs,
It's
especially
a different economy, kids.
Avatar
here's
came
the
out
thing.
without any competition for months.
now we're talking about movies that's been out for so many years, and they have accumulated all those funds. And Avatar, I think, did re-release like once before, didn't it? Like
Yeah, it did, and it made $33 million in its
But
release.
it wasn't like within 2 months.
No, but it had bonus footage, and it was later. I forget how much
Exactly.
later.
So
Tell me in
they
the comments.
built up-
Somebody.
And there's an
built up
increase in
someone
ticket
wanted money.
I
prices
still
through
think
that time
Avatar
too.
was that good compared to like Avengers.
Well, at
I
the
don't know, I
time, the
guess-
thing where Avatar was it was a new technology. It was a big new 3D technology that
Yeah.
had never been that integrated into a film, and it's James Cameron and blah 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 blah. So you had all that going with it.
Did you see it in theaters, Katie? Avatar?
I did not see it in theaters. I remember seeing it on TV, and I just didn't like it.
Well,
Yeah,
TV,
well, I was gonna say, like,
I
the
did not
reason
like it.
the reason the film was so good was because the theater experience was incredible. It was the first major 3D movie that like made it like, oh my god. Alice in Wonderland was the other one, if I recall, right? I mean, it was so similar sort of 3D stunt that really gave it its box office push. But I think you're totally right. It's Fern Gully. It's a million movies we've
Yeah.
seen. It's just a very fancy movie, but with the effects and the 3D technology, Cameron just crushed it in that regard. But I agree, it's a pretty dumb movie.
Yeah, like I give it that. I give it the like the CGI and all the effects and all that. It's like really really cool, but just everything else, I'm like no.
I mean, they used that movie to pitch you buying a 3D TV, which no one did. That's how
That
they
was,
used
yeah,
Avatar.
there was definitely a part of that.
Andy, did you buy a 3D TV?
I did not. I've purposely avoided them.
Good.
I just
Good job.
knew,
Good job. But
and they never took. Now they're like not really an
Gotta
out
keep
at all.
track
They're
of
not
the
a thing,
glasses,
curved
it's never the
TV.
same.
Well,
No.
but real quick though, can we talk about like the rumors about what's gonna be at the end of this movie? Because I think, from what at least from me, what I want to see in my ideas of what could happen and why it could be worth it. Can we move
Yes.
the conversation?
What's
this
that
way?
We'll end it there.
So okay, so let's end it there. So real quick, so typically the Marvel movies do two. They do two post-credit scenes. They do a serious one that sets up the next movie, and they do a tongue-in-cheek scene. Yeah. And so, if the rumors are to be true, there's going to be a Stan Lee thing going
They've
on.
been working on one, is what people have said.
And I think
Some
that's going to be. I
speculate
think
they'll
that
do
will be brilliant, at least for a lot of the fans, the comic book readers, and so on. That's great. So if they do two scenes, I think number one, if you're going to do a serious scene, you got to. It doesn't make sense to set up Spider-Man because Spider-Man's coming out a week later. You're wasting.
That would be a
marketing.
huge
Yeah.
cop out.
Yeah, you're wasting marketing dollars. So I think what you do is you set up Guardians. You set up definitively because the two questions at the end of the movie was, what's going on with Gamora, and what the hell happened with Cap in terms of like how did he do that? How time travel, quantum physics. So I think you set up where Gamora is and what's going on with her, and then for the tongue-in-cheek scene, Michael Pena.
Oh yeah, running
Michael
through-
Pena.
That would be worth
if
it.
you can get the other actors.
They
to do
said they
this.
already filmed it.
Yeah,
But
if
just
they-
Michael Pena recapping it.
Yes,
at the
you're
end game?
recapping
They've already talked
the
about that.
MCU
Yes.
10 years in like in 3 minutes. Are you kidding me?
We'll
Are
do
you
it in 3
fucking
minutes.
kidding me?
That's like a
This
whole
would-
15 minutes.
No, it can be done in 3 minutes. He'll be like
take 15
the way he
minutes of
talks is. I
No,
relate to
that
Michael
would be
Pena so
funny.
much because I feel like I talk like he does,
And the
at
oth-
least in that character. So if they can do that with all the characters, the dialogue, and all that stuff. I mean, come on, it's CGI or whatever.
Well,
I don't
and
know,
to jump on
science,
that,
but
even-
it can be done.
Even the last scene with Robert, they filmed after they wrapped.
Yeah,
they had to get
the snap.
they had to
Yeah,
get
the
everybody
snap
back.
was last.
So they may be like, oh,
Just
we
like
wanna
shawarma. Let's
tweak-
not forget that
Yeah.
too.
They forgot. Yeah, they did that later. So maybe there's something they may tweak in there that they're like, we didn't get this right. Let's do this reshoot real quick. As long as it doesn't cost them a bunch of money. I mean, it cost $350 million to make it in the first place. Why not throw a couple extra bucks at it?
What are you guys saying? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, one thing I wanted to
Michael
see
Pena,
is
ladies, he's a treasure.
if they were to like have extra scenes in there, I would want to see like why didn't they give Black Widow a funeral in the movie or anything? I just,
Jesus.
no, I'm not a big fan of her, but like I like her and appreciate her, but I'm just like they at least could give her a
Tony
little...
Stark got one right.
No, he deserves more. But anyways, no,
They thought it was a wedding, okay?
no. Listen, okay. I just feel like she died too. At least show her some love. Like she freaking cracked her head open on the bottom of the cliff. Like show her some love. And then another thing is, I was kind of hoping during like Tony's funeral that you saw Fury and you saw Carol. I was hoping they had a little moment, you know, because she was maybe it showed that she's a little bit sad that, you know, he kind of.
She hooks up with War Machine, so.
No, like, you know, being and I, like,
Not
oh
that
shoot,
movie.
I haven't seen you in like 20-something years, and then when I come back, I found out, you know, you're dead, you're gone. So like, at least have a little moment where, you know, they see each other, give them a nod, or she asks like, oh, so how's your eye, or something like that. I
She
don't
could have
know.
been like, "Where's my cat?"
See,
Yeah.
That's
Fury
the
doesn't
scene.
do emotions, so I don't think that would work.
well, I just got it makes me that's why I don't like Captain Marvel, because it's like it just was all so rushed. Like
That
really,
movie was massively
that's
rushed.
why Nick Fury, they never saw each other in between that whole time. Like none of it
I
makes
know.
any sense. So it's like, while I'm with you and I wish I wanted that, and in rewatching Captain Marvel, it just isn't sitting well with me as much. It doesn't sit well the more I see it. That's the last thing I want to see. I want to see her in her own movie. That's a better movie. Like,
Yes,
give
I
her a
agree.
chance to be a better character. And I do not want the MCU to try and do more Captain Marvel fixing. They've done plenty of trying to adjust. Even the eye scratch is just like, come on. He's like,
know.
does such a serious scene in Winter Soldier. He's like, I got a friend to trust it. And then it's like, what,
That
a
was
cat?
cheap play.
No,
'Cause,
it's
like,
stupid.
They took such a good, they do this, like, I hate when people, they get such a good character and then they throw him into like a filler movie. She was just a filler in the whole movie, and that's what
Yeah,
bothered me
it's true.
because, you know, reading the comics and stuff, I was so excited just seeing her humor and everything, and just her in general. But then you see her in the movie and like, she's not like that at all.
See,
What are you doing?
Yep.
My problem with that was, and I'll be real quick on this, is that because they filmed all the Endgame stuff before they did Captain Marvel, so
Yes.
she didn't even have a feeling for who the character was or how she was interacting. I thought she was way better in Captain Marvel than she was in Endgame, because in Endgame you're going, wait, I just
She got
saw
on,
her
like,
and it was
3 to
off.
5 minutes in Endgame.
It was off, but you just felt like the character was off, whereas she hadn't known the voice of the character yet. So
Yeah.
that was my big hiccup with that.
She was, you know, Shelley just said it too. They shoehorned her into Endgame. They did. But I also thought they did a good job of just sort of fast forwarding some of those points, because it's like that scene, the after credit scene, and in Captain Marvel where she shows up and where's Fury. It all. Why did they find the pager? The whole thing just, they didn't need it, and I'm glad they sort of fast forwarded her just showing up.
Sure, but if I can be a little bit positive, I love the scene with her and Peter Parker where she's like, "Hey, Peter Parker." I felt
Oh,
I
wait,
love
I
that
love that
interaction.
part.
That was
Wait,
really
how
cute.
did she say his name?
Yeah,
How
she said,
knows
"Hey,"
him?
because she said, "Hey, I'm Peter Parker," and she's like, "Hey, Peter Parker, I know you have something for me," or whatever the line is. But that interaction, that was really positive in that whole, you know,
I agree.
A-Force scene,
Agreed.
or you know, right-wing Twitter will go nuts. The feminist scene,
Yes.
that was brilliant. So I feel like, you know, just some positivity, kids.
Like,
we need
was it
positivity in our
brilliant?
lives.
I'm going to be the guy. Was it brilliant, Andrew?
What, the feminist scene? Or
Look,
the-
I love the idea of the feminist scene, but they did that scene so much better and more effectively as a storytelling technique in Infinity War, where they actually had something to
yeah,
do.
where they were fighting.
I
that
look,
alien,
I
right? Yeah,
love,
okay,
I
okay.
want it,
Okay.
I love the idea of it. I
But-
appreciate what they were doing, but it
but-
was so shoehorned and forced.
But it was
Thought it
that
was
money
kinda
shot though.
cheesy.
It was that cheering moment
It
because
was-
okay,
it
you-
made no sense that they would have been in that point in the battle. It just made it
wait.
negated the whole battle. And
It
the-
was a better
the
woman
stakes of
empowerment
the
scene
battle
than
went
Captain
out
Marvel.
the window because the women are all waiting around for their moment.
Exactly.
Wait,
Okay.
wait.
Come on!
I
Ant Man couldn't have been in the moment. I thought we were all about
It was just,
inclusion.
it was just a good moment. It was a money shot. So
It
to
was
speak.
it was a forced moment.
wanted
Sorry,
to
Katie.
It
gather-
was
go
a
ahead.
money shot. It was good.
They
I
wanted to
loved
gather
it.
all
It
the
was cute.
feminists together so then they could be like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna watch this movie because they have girl power." Heck yeah. No, it was cheesy.
And they killed
But it
one.
was good cheese. I like Swiss cheese. It was that
Okay,
Swiss cheese. It
I
wasn't
enjoyed
crab.
it, but it
You know what I'm
was
saying?
cheesy because it's like, yeah, like Andy said, like, you know, what are they all doing just suddenly together? Oh, she's got help. All these women, like, no.
Hello.
Make
What
show
is
them
it?
as
You're supposed to be
badasses.
fighting and kicking people's butts. You're supposed to be standing
I
together
love
right
women.
next to
That's
But-
that's so beautiful. It was so.
Endgame was
Beautifully
a
Oh, shut up,
cheesy.
Andrew.
Endgame was a
Everything.
fan
Stop
film.
pandering.
I'm gonna be real.
Endgame pandered to everybody.
Yeah.
They gave
Yeah.
everybody what they
Yeah.
wanted. They're like,
That's
I
that's
got my
the
Tony
point.
Stark stuff. I'm a massive Iron Man fan. That is my thing.
Yeah.
Like I had the 10-foot flathead thing on my wall and all that when it first came out. 30-something
really?
years old. Oh yeah, I had the whole thing. And my fiance at the time let me have it. That's a whole nother story.
Okay.
But I had a negotiate it. But like, it gave me everything I wanted out of Tony Stark. And if you're a Cap fan, I think you got most of what you want. Like everybody got
Even Thor, yeah.
well, Fat
absolutely.
Thor. You're like, good, yeah. You know what?
They put a whole comic
needs
on
to put
it.
some extra weight on.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I
No.
think we should do another. There's two shows we're going to continue to do. So thank you all for watching. We're wrapping the show up because I don't want to stay too long. It kills my algorithm if I stay too long. But my point is, I want to do it. Did the summer movies suck in this year? We're going to do that soon at the end of the summer because I think this is one of the worst years ever. And I do think closer we got to really evaluate Endgame as a whole with full-on spoilers. Was Fat Thor right? Was that a feminist scene? I think we can. There's so much more conversations that we will be having on this topic in the future. So stay tuned and please subscribe to watch. As we close this out, I want your last closing thoughts as a team, and I want you guys at home to tell me what you think. So listen carefully. Is this re-release worthy or worthless? Are we going to see it? We've talked about what we want to see. We've talked about Endgame. We've talked about that it should beat Avatar. What's going to make you want to spend another $10 to $20, depending on where you live, to buy a ticket and see this again? I'm going to start with the worthless side.
I'm not going to spend another like $15 on a ticket on this. I would rather spend that on actually owning the Blu-ray and supporting their products when it comes out, because then I can sit with my family who loves to watch the movie in subtitles and take the breaks and pause it when they need to go for those 3 hours of watching a film. I want them to be able to enjoy the film at their own pacing.
Katie?
Yeah, I just want to be able to sit at home with my iguana and just watch it, just watch it by myself. So, have my earbuds in, just chill out, watch it, and then see all the end credit stuff. I don't want to waste money. Either way, you'll be helping them. Either you're going to go see it or you're going to go, buy it on DVD. I think buying it on DVD would be better, but I'm going to stick to that because, I just want to.
And not worth
enjoy.
enough to give another $15 so we can beat Avatar. You think not a worthy cause?
I don't think it's going to beat it. Like
Even if you show your money, it's a waste of money.
Unless I'm doing like him, where I show up 8 times in the one weekend.
You don't want to see it? You don't want to see it?
Well, he's probably got A-list, so he's not even.
Yeah, you don't want to see
I don't
it
know how
with
that
me?
works.
You don't want to see it with me, bro? We can go. We can
sorry.
pregame and shit. It'll be
I'm
dope.
sorry, my budget's already tapped.
All right, well, good thoughts there. Guys, your last thoughts on is it worthy of the ticket?
I think it's worthy. I want to see it one more time. There was some stuff that I think I knew was coming because I like to know the spoilers before going into a movie. I didn't know about the Fat Thor, but I like to read up on it and the production and everything. So I think there's some stuff that now I can finally watch it with a clear head after not seeing it and make some notes. And I want that emotional feeling in the theater. Look, I cried in my car for 10 minutes after it. I'm not kidding. So I've never had a feeling like that in a movie before. So for me, it's worth it seeing it one more time in the theater.
Wow, you didn't see a Marley and Me or anything?
I purposely stayed away from those, and I purposely knew what was coming in this one, and it still got me.
You knew,
Yeah, how about
you knew
Up?
Iron Man was dead.
Did you
before
watch
it?
Up? Like that.
Oh, it took me a while to figure out what was going on in the opening scene on that one, and after that, I can't watch
Turn
it.
it off.
I
You know what
fast forward.
movie has the same moment of Up? But I don't know. Have you guys all watched Searching with John Cho?
Yes.
Oh my
that's-
God!
that's so-
Go check it out. I loved it. I did
Yeah,
not see, but
it's
the
a very
opening
good
of it is like Up, but done through like computer.
Yeah.
I'm just warning you. You're in for a ride. It's emotional. It made me cry.
Andy.
It made me root.
Other one for me is Big Bird Gets Lost.
Follow that bird. You mean? Follow that bird.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm getting some worthy. What do you guys tell us? Your comments below. And is it worthy? Is it worthless? I'm going to rally these up. I'm getting worthy. Worthy. Wow, you guys are
Worthless.
crushing it. Everyone's saying your arguments say it's worthy. You've turned them around.
Always worthy because at the end of the day, it's the emotion. It's the and as you said, the notes. I didn't even think about that, but for me, it's just.
Who's taking notes?
Okay, listen.
I took notes
okay,
in it.
it could be like not legitimate notes, like mental notes, motherfucker. Chill. But for me. It's about like, dude, when like on your left. Are you kidding me?
On your left. On
With
your
dog,
left.
you're I
Everyone's
was like,
losing up.
every
I love
time-
you. I love you 3000. I'm a dad. I love you 3000. It's so beautiful.
Then when you
I'm
find
not
out
a
what all
dad
that means.
I say that. Me and
But
my wife
as
say
a
that to each
fan
other
of
now.
the whole,
so,
as the fan of the whole movie,
yeah.
Anthony Mackie coming into his ear and saying, "On your left." Oh,
Because it
gives
goes
me
back to Winter
goosebumps.
Soldier.
It
and
sums it all
it
up
just-
so well.
And then when the Wakandans come out, it's about everything, and
It's
then you're
just
like,
so
and then,
beautiful.
And then when he's, as you're a comic book reader, Adon, I know you are. when he says Avengers Assemble,
Yeah.
I told Aaron at board game night the week it came out, I was like, dude, Aaron, ask me what I want to hear, what I want to see, in Avengers Endgame, and he said, Andrew, what do you want to see? And I said, I just want to hear Captain America say Avengers Assemble, and he did that. It made all my dreams come true.
Come on, guys. It's
It's
pretty
just
awesome.
like
The most
it's
over.
fucking amazing.
I enjoyed that
It's
scene.
like a wet dream. Like what are you talking about? It's
It is.
incredible.
And
they make
that's
that
where it's
version,
that's
too.
where it's
Yeah, it's
ultimately
gonna be
at.
fantastic.
This is your last chance to
Come
go
with
see
me,
it
Adon. Come
in
with
the
me.
theater. Let's all make sure we do it that Friday night as a crowd. Bring your friends. I love it. They're saying we got out of theater. There was a comment. Brianna says, I'm getting my friends together and posting on social media to get everyone to theater on that night. I implore Marvel should do that. They should host like screenings of in your town to like make sure your friends can all go to the same show.
In fact, I didn't even mention
because
my
that
boss.
would be really fun. Here's your last chance to do it in the theaters. Everyone just clap. You know, what's like a room like throw a fork at it type of thing we can do. Everyone that we can spur right now. Everyone
Nerds assemble, duh. But no, but it was so
Assemble.
funny because my boss told me about the news today, and he's getting all his friends at work. They're all going. They're more than a dozen of them. They're all going that weekend to see it again. And he went on opening night. He's more of a nerd than me. He saw it 3 times opening night.
Bunda said
I saw it only twice
said
opening
you
night.
said-
The night is always
Watching
so
it then.
long.
Yeah, he actually took a day off to go. He saw it at 5 o'clock that day. On
I'm
Thursday.
trying to find the comment,
because
but
we have
I-
a meeting that day.
Yeah,
on
just want to
Thursday.
make sure
If
I
I
read
saw it 3
Bunda's
times in a
comment
row,
of.
my eyes would be so puffy.
I couldn't do it in a row.
I want to read Bunda's comment to Andrew. 8 or 9 times? What is wrong with you?
Listen, A-list kids, I got times, I got monies. Let's do
A-list
it.
is- I didn't like how A-list made me do months than I planned, but I'd say it is a good program. All right, well there you go. You guys said it's worthy. Thank you so much for watching. We have so much more in store, so please subscribe, hit your little notification bell, and watch. We're here Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Wednesday we'll be live. Next week we will be pre-taped because we're going to go see Spider-Man Far From Home. So I can't tape live because sorry guys, I want to see Spider-Man early.
Good reason.
So we'll be seeing Spider-Man early, but I will have an awesome pre-tape. We're going to be doing Best Spider-Man, I think, which should be that fight. So stay tuned and subscribe so you can see it. It'll be a premiere. You can set this thing where a premiere so you can watch it with people and comment. It'll be like we're live. I just won't be able to call you out live. But thank you so much, everybody. I want to give a last shout outs. Katie, awesome. Thank you so much
Hi.
for coming. Great job. And Adon, as always, Nerd Tots. I'll put their links in the description down below, so go
course.
support them on social media and such. Matt Doolittle, welcome to the show. You were great. Please, both of you, Katie, Matt, please come back. You were fantastic.
Will do.
And Andrew, as always, thank you for getting drunk with me. Cheers.
Thank you. I need a refill, Andy.
I mean, he won on his birthday, so
Yeah.
you got
Yeah,
that.
happy
Guys.
birthday to Andrew.
Guys.
Happy birthday.
Be positive, kids.
Is that song free now? I don't know.
Yeah,
it is.
let's not do it. Let's not do it. Let's not do it.
But there you have it. Thank you so much for watching Nerd Wars. We have videos every day here in Popcorn Planet, so stay tuned. And thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bum, 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 bum.